If you are a midlife woman and you've been scrolling and searching on how to start over after 40, 50, and 60, then you need to listen up. I'm about to break it down real simple for you why it's not working. You've been on this hamster wheel for too long. You've been searching this all year. You've been searching it last year. Heck, you've been feeling it in your spirit for the past few years, but you just didn't know what to do. And the entire time, everything you needed to make the shift was right in your hands. But see, the problem is you lost your identity along the way and you didn't know how to get it back. Here's how you're going to be able to start over immediately as soon as you finish watching this video. Number one, you're just going to make a decision. You're going to make a decision to let go of the old you. She no longer serves you. She served you at the time, but she is gone. You're going to have to make a decision to be okay with that. You're going to have to make a decision to move forward, even if you don't see all of the steps. See, you have to remember God is guiding you the entire way, but you have to learn how to trust him. Number two, you're going to write out a plan of action. You're going to take some time off. You're going to get somebody to babysit the kids or the grands. You maybe take a day off of work. You're going to have a staycation somewhere, maybe grab a hotel room or kick everybody out your house for the day. You're either going to get your computer, a huge whiteboard, or some paper and start strategizing on what you want to see your life look like, what you enjoy, what you've enjoyed in the past, but you weren't able to accomplish because you had too many responsibilities. You're going to put all of those down on paper and you're going to organize those in the order that you want them to start happening in your life. Next, you're going to write down what you need to do in order for them to happen. For example, I need to be on my job 6 more months to save this amount up to do this. Or I'm going to keep my job, but I'm going to add some side money so I can be able to do this. Or I'm going to step out on faith because I have enough money. I'm going to step out on faith and leave everything now, which I don't advise to do unless you really have a plan, and leave everything now, and I'm just going to go for it. See, most times our comfort zones is the thing that's holding us hostage. Next, you're going to execute on that plan. You're not going to share it with anyone unless it's someone that has your back. Because if you share it with people that don't have your back, or you share it with people that are fearful and that don't take risks, then they're going to stop you from taking yours. And while you're doing that, you're going to be able to get comfortable with the process. It's not going to feel good all of the time. It's going to be scary sometimes, but if you keep your trust in God, I promise you, he will lead you, he will guide you, he will put you in the place you need to be. If you need help getting started into your next, or you need to make more money, you need to work on your mindset, I have an academy called Reposition Her. And if you need mentorship, coaching, accountability, partnership, then make sure you click the link in my bio or type the word ready in all caps and I'll send you the link so you can get started today.
As a woman in her 30s who is divorced and a single mother, if I could give one piece of advice to women in their 20s, it would be to learn very early to trust your gut / first instinct / Holy Spirit if you're a follower of Christ like I am. I feel like as young women, we're often taught to invalidate that feeling and feel like, no, we're just crazy. No, I don't know for sure. Your first instinct, that gut, that thing that tells you something's off, something's not right, it's almost always right. But we're taught to ignore it. And the more you ignore it, the less you trust yourself to be able to make decisions for yourself without feeling like, maybe I'm just crazy, maybe I'm just tripping, maybe I'm just this or that. No, very early on, learn to trust that gut instinct, that feeling of something is right or wrong, and go with it. And then grow in it.
I was watching this woman talk about how other women don't listen to us divorced women when it comes to like relationships and advice and whatnot. Now, I wanted to add my 2 cents in there because as a woman who was married for 20 years, recently divorced, I just created like a list to kind of just impart some insight. Now, you can take it with a grain of salt. This is for someone if you're married, not married, single, dating. I don't care. This is for women in general because we are all up against the patriarchy, right? So just a few things that not only I made sure I did, but things that I really wish that I knew sooner because no one thinks they're going to get divorced, right? Especially after 20 years. Like you don't think that. But anyway, here's a few things. Make sure you finish your degree. So if you maybe met your partner, your husband, spouse, whoever, and you didn't finish your degree, maybe you got pregnant like I did in undergrad, make sure you go back and finish your degree and get multiple. I got 2 degrees. Have your career and prioritize it. Because we are up against the patriarchy, men will prioritize their work, right? They're expected to. Whereas as women, we're supposed to like orbit around everything else, including making work just kind of fit in. No, you prioritize your work, your career. Get a social circle that doesn't just include married women. That was the biggest thing for me. I lost my identity in my marriage, as a wife, as a mother, and a military spouse. And you know how it is if you're a military spouse. Like, you just get so sucked into that circle, and it kind of keeps you in a little pocket where you're not really stretching yourself out. So make sure you get friends that are single and friends that are also outside of whatever community that you are a part of. And my friends that I've cultivated, who a lot of them are either divorced or single or dating, whatever the case might be, they were like these guiding lights for me, a reminder that I'm Amanda, and Amanda has agency, Amanda has sovereignty. And that really allowed me to kind of, make my way forward when it came to divorcing and feeling more confident in who I am. Do your own things, like travel, go to dinners by yourself, go to events, whatever the case might be. Do things outside of that marriage, outside of that spouse. All these things I'm telling you is for you. It isn't really necessarily have to do with who you're with or being married. These are just things to help you feel more empowered as you're just navigating life as a woman, especially if you are getting into relationships. Center yourself, not the kids, not the home, not your partner. Like I said earlier, like some of us as spouses, we and mothers, like we'll orbit ourselves into our life when we actually need to be the center. Everything else, nothing moves unless we move, right? The kids don't do this until we do it, right? Until we move it around. Anything going on with the family, we are taken care of. So we need to make sure we are the center of our lives all the way, every single day. And lastly, every year, elevate. I don't care what that looks like, whether that's socially, whether that's physically, whether that's mentally, emotionally. Every year, make sure you prioritize your elevation. Even like those milestone years, right? Maybe you're turning, 30 or 40, whatever the case might be. So like I said, all this is just for any woman because we are all against the patriarchy. And when we are in this system of marriage, we tend to be disadvantaged and we tend to take on all this load, and we can succumb to marriages and situations and the roles. So please make sure you honor yourself, center yourself in your life, and do things that make you feel empowered.
I read the other day that we're the first generation of moms to say, I left for my kids instead of I stayed for my kids. And I know that's controversial because for generations, women have been taught that being a good mother means sacrificing everything. Happiness, your needs, your peace, your identity. You're supposed to endure. You're supposed to stay. You're supposed to keep the family together no matter what it costs you. And listen, this isn't about telling women that they should be getting divorced. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying somewhere along the way, most of us were taught that self-abandonment was like a virtue, that being a good mom meant putting yourself last. And staying miserable is noble. What are we actually teaching our kids by letting them watch us tolerate things that hurt us? What are we teaching our daughters about love and our sons about relationships? Kids don't learn from what we say. They learn from what we model. For a lot of women, leaving it wasn't giving up. It was finally choosing themselves, finally setting that boundary, deciding that surviving is not the same as living. Leaving is saying, I want my kids to see what self-respect looks like. I want them to know love shouldn't require you to disappear. Whether you stayed, whether you left, it's not about what other people think of your decision. The question should be, am I showing my kids what it looks like to choose yourself? That lesson could be one of the greatest gifts that you ever give them.
Divorce taught me some things I wish that I had known sooner. I learned that my well-being is my responsibility, not something I hand over to someone else and hope that they take care of it. I learned that what you tolerate doesn't get better. It actually becomes your standard. And this whole idea of keeping the peace, whose peace was I keeping? Certainly wasn't mine. But that doesn't work. Trying to keep the peace actually just delays the problem. Real peace comes from speaking up, not abandoning yourself just to try to avoid conflict. And I had to learn that boundaries are essential. Boundaries are a true indicator of how you choose yourself, because at the end of the day, the life you're living is a reflection of what you're willing to accept. Meet me in the comments. Tell me one thing divorce taught you that you wish you knew a long time ago.
Here's 5 reminders for you today if you are thinking about leaving. Bookmark this for later so you can go back and watch it. If you're new to me, I'm Lisa Blaisdell. I'm a midlife woman's change and divorce coach, helping you choose yourself to live your most authentic second chapter. I have a free journal. You can download it. It's in my bio. Number 1, you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You feel differently about this time in your life, and that is okay. Number 2, you don't need to hate him to want something different for yourself. In fact, you can very much still care for him, and that is a good thing. But don't let it confuse you with the fact that your heart is telling you that this relationship is not meant to go the distance. Number 3, your fear is not a sign that you need to stay. Fear is going to be your companion through this process if you choose to go down this road. Do not confuse fear with the knowing that is in your heart. Number 4, please hear me on this. You are allowed to want more for yourself. More peace, more joy, more authenticity of who you truly are in this season of your life. You are allowed to want more. Number 5, you are not alone. You are not alone. Go and look at the comments of my hundreds of videos. There are thousands of women just like you going through this exact same thing. Don't carry the burden of this by yourself. Join the wait list, the early bird wait list for my membership that is coming this summer. Get in community with like-minded women who are going through the exact same thing, who will support you, who will never judge you, and will just be there cheering you on. Remember, there's nothing wrong with you for wanting a different life. Get on my wait list, download my free journal, and reach out if you're ready for support and to take the next steps of being your most authentic self.